I am going to cut to the chase and tell you that Peak Tea's Radiant Skin Duo is on special right now. Just laying it out there because, as most of you know, I am a huge fan of Peak Life Tea's crystals and all of their matcha black teas and tropical powder teas. I drink them on the regular. So I feel like I'm just doing an injustice if I didn't tell you about this amazing sale right now. I seriously love all their tea crystals and the fact that they do not use any toxic tea bags, which can contaminate your tea and your drink in general just by having the chemicals that are in the bags leach into what you're consuming. I'm not sure if you guys know this, but a lot of tea bags, if not all, are just toxic. But Peak Life, all their products are tea bag free, and their products are certified organic. They are triple toxin screened for heavy metals, pesticides, and mold. And I don't know if you knew this either, but a lot of tea companies are now adding natural flavors to their teas. And we all know from my viral Instagram video showing how natural flavors aren't actually natural at all. They're actually made in a lab and are added to products to make you more addicted to that product you're consuming. Natural flavors, toxins, and chemicals are hijacking our taste buds and disrupting our endocrine system and gut health. So again, that's why I love Peak Tea, because they don't use any of that, and they do rigorous testing to make sure all their teas are free from toxins and mold. And if you're looking for a coffee alternative, Peak has a blend called Chaga Energy Elixir, which is 100% caffeine free, yet still gives you energy without the jitters and can even provide a calmness at the same time. But if you're looking for a deal, check out their website because they are always having specials. And so I really encourage you to go check out what's on sale right now, especially their Radiant Skin Duo. And if you're not sure if you're going to like any of their teas, they have a free return policy within 30 days. So if you try something and you're not happy with it, just send it back like what you didn't use and they'll just give you a refund. I mean, I just love that about this company, that they just want you to be happy and satisfied. So if you go to peaklife.com/digest, you can receive up to 15% off plus up to 2 free gifts. Again, that's peaklife.com/digest. peaklife.com/digest. Hey guys, welcome back to the Digest This podcast. I'm your host, Bethany Cameron, and today's bite of knowledge, we are talking about a certain ingredient that can change your blood cells, may even cause cancer, but don't worry, there's good news at the end. So without further ado, I'm going to talk to you about TBHQ. Food allergies, it can cause that. It can also impair the immune system. And in today's day and age, I think we all want the best immune system possible. So the FDA often approves ingredients without really understanding how they may affect the human body. I mean, how did red number 40 and artificial flavors get by, right? So the FDA approving something doesn't really mean anything to me. The preservative known as TBHQ can be under that category, and it's no surprise the FDA has overlooked its health consequences, even though they categorize it as, quote, may be safely used in food, end quote. And on the other hand, the Center for Science in Public Interest, they recommend avoiding TBHQ whenever possible because of the potential it has to promote cancer formation. TBHQ can be found in Reese's peanut butter cups, Cheez-Its, and other snack foods. So what is it and why is it in so many of our so-called, quote, food? Well, let's take a look at what the science says about TBHQ and what to do about it in terms of your own diet and lifestyle. All right, so what is it? Well, the National Institute of Health's official definition of TBHQ is, and I quote, TBHQ is a white to tan crystalline powder. It has a very slight odor. It is very soluble in water and is used as an antioxidant in food and cosmetics and as a chemical stabilizer. It is also an ingredient in some ant and roach insecticides. End quote. First of all, the term antioxidant here might sound good and perhaps a little confusing, but TBHQ isn't the healthy antioxidant we often think of when eating blueberries or drinking green tea. The term antioxidant they are referring to is simply meaning that it stops the oxidation of molecules in food, hence antioxidant. Meaning TBHQ is stopping the food it's being put in from going rotten or rancid. It's simply a preservative and definitely not the good kind. Many legal synthetic food ingredients have never been thoroughly studied in a human population, and so the, quote, safe limits of TBHQ were determined by mostly short-term animal research studies. Let's just be clear here. TBHQ is a man-made compound that starts as hydroquinone, which is an agent used in photographic development and for reducing silver, by the way, and then has a group of chemicals added to its molecular structure. Now, that's a lot of technical mumbo jumbo in explaining the entire process of creating TBHQ. And there's a lot more that goes into it that even I have a hard time pronouncing all these technical terms. Right there, that's a red flag. If something is hard to pronounce and going too scientific, you have no idea what it is, it's man-made, it's just a recipe for disaster, or maybe a recipe for TBHQ. And here's a fun fact. TBHQ shares some molecular structure with other molecules like those found in lighter fluid. Now, let's take a look at what foods TBHQ are in. Now, there are some loopholes in labeling laws, meaning that food labels do not always have to list TBHQ as an ingredient. Yes, you heard me. Foods that contain TBHQ include processed fats and oils, such as canola oil. And in a study published in the National Library of Medicine, they found TBHQ present in canola oil, even though TBHQ wasn't actually added to the oil. So think of all the restaurants that use this oil for cooking, sauteing, and frying. If you ever go out to a restaurant, please ask them what oils they use, and when in doubt, opt for something grilled that you know no oil is not going to be used, because on the grill is just on the grill, or opt for maybe a salad or something like that. I know I never recommend salads, but maybe just don't eat at the restaurant. Now, most packaged foods, including Act 2 microwave popcorn, Cheez-Its, Reese's peanut butter cups, Cheerios, Honey Nut Milk and cereal bars, selected varieties of Dove chocolates, Frito-Lay peanut butter filled crackers, Herdez instant traditional refried beans, Kellogg's Club crackers, Keebler Elf sandwich cookies, Kellogg's Pop-Tarts, Lunchables pizza kits, Market Side chicken Caesar salad, which are commonly sold in grocery stores in the deli section in ready-to-go single-serve salad mix containers. I mean, those are just a few things that TBHQ is added to. And I mean, I could go on. The EWG actually has an extensive list of items listed alphabetically from items that have TBHQ. However, I did review the list, and there are many that are not up to date. So when in doubt, just check ingredients, you guys. Acute high-level exposure to fluoride can lead to abdominal pain, nausea, vomiting, and even muscle spasms. So thankfully, this new fluoride replacement ingredient is just as effective for dental hygiene and much safer. So, what is this new ingredient? It's called hydroxyapatite, and it's the perfect replacement for fluoride and completely non-toxic. It's the active ingredient in Bite toothpaste non-toxic bits. And well, unlike fluoride, the hydroxyapatite works by remineralizing enamel from within, reaching the innermost part of a dental cavity, and binds to plaque and harmful bacteria in our mouth. So, if you're brushing your teeth daily, and I really hope you are, that is a lot of exposure to chemicals that could potentially accumulate and take toll on your health if you are using a toothpaste with fluoride. Now, Bite toothpaste bits, these are what I highly recommend, and they've actually been in my household for like over 2 years now. My husband and I love brushing our teeth with them. We use their fluoride-free tablets. We also love their mouthwash, which is they're super convenient for traveling and just to keep in your purse just for a quick mouth refresher. Now, Bite also has a natural teeth whitening kit. So they have a full line of non-toxic products that I would highly suggest you guys check out for better oral health. And if you've been looking for a natural toothpaste without the paste, try Bite toothpaste tablets. Again, I cannot recommend these more highly. They come in glass jars too, which is really cool. So they're helping reduce plastic waste for the planet. So this is just all around really cool company. It's definitely worth a try. And if you, for whatever reason, don't like them, you can just cancel any time. So if you want to get 20% off your first order, just go to trybite.com/digest or use code DIGEST at checkout to claim this deal. That's trybite.com/digest and use code DIGEST at checkout. Now let's talk about the 5 dangers of TBHQ. First of all, number 1, your immunity. Now, if you're concerned about your immune health, as we all should be in today's day and age, well, TBHQ may be one culprit to point the finger at. In a typical amount with what an average person might consume each day, TBHQ can actually inhibit some of the immune responses that help your body fight diseases. One mechanism by which this seems to work is that the preservative activates NRF2, which is a protein that controls antioxidant function. While many stimuli that activate the NRF2 cause it to boost antioxidant activity, TBHQ actually causes NRF2 to negatively interact with proteins that control immune responses, such as white blood cell function. And some evidence even suggests that the antioxidant dysfunction caused by TBHQ is sometimes independent of NRF2. Now, regardless of how it works exactly, TBHQ may inhibit immune supporting processes in the body, plain and simple. And it's possible this damages the function of your immune system and possibly causes you to be more susceptible to illnesses. Secondly, it could potentially promote cancer. And I know that's a big statement for me or anyone to say, but there is research to back this. Now, there's not clear correlation, however. So it seems true through various studies published in the National Library of Medicine that TBHQ does cause some cancerous or precancerous effect in animals. It may also increase resistance to chemotherapy drugs and help cancer cells live longer. Other evidence seems to suggest the opposite. So check this out. In some lab and animal studies, TBHQ inhibits or slows the growth of some cancer cells, including lung and colon. It may also not cause any type of cancerous particles in certain animal subjects. So it's a little bit confusing. There's some contradicting scientific research on both ends, but something that may or may not cause cancer still seems like an unnecessary risk, in my opinion, especially when it holds that there's just so many other things that you could use besides TBHQ. And plus, there's other risk factors that are known for TBHQ, leading to our third risk factor, which is neurological symptoms. So get this, you guys. The National Institute of Health has recorded instances of various neurological symptoms related to TBHQ consumption. This includes vision disturbances and convulsions. I actually posted about this a few weeks back on my Instagram when I talked about TBHQ being in Reese's peanut butter Easter eggs. Now, the fourth alarm is that it's possible for TBHQ to damage the structure of red blood cell membranes, and any damage to cell membranes is certainly something to steer clear of if possible. TBHQ can also lead to food allergies. Now, possibly one of the most dangers of TBHQ is its potential to induce or worsen food allergies. So, a researcher at Michigan State University has been conducting research in immunology and specifically how TBHQ interacts with immunity. They state that low doses of TBHQ increases IgE response to food allergen and exacerbate clinical signs of immediate hypersensitivity. Now, keep in mind, the doses being studied here are not very high. They correlate only with what the average person might consume, which is even more concerning. So how do we avoid it? Well, it should be pretty clear. Don't eat anything containing it. But sometimes it's not all that simple. As I previously mentioned, sometimes it's not even listed on the ingredient list as TBHQ. So it could be slipped in here and there. TBHQ could have been used as a sub-ingredient for the actual ingredient listed, and they're not required to list sub-ingredients used to create the ingredient on the label. Okay, but there is good news, you guys. First of all, TBHQ is water soluble, meaning it doesn't bioaccumulate, aka build up in your body. So once you stop being exposed to it, you can reduce any problematic symptoms it might have caused previously. If it feels overwhelming, I know that's a lot of information, but if you're overwhelmed, and if it feels overwhelming to just make the changes all at once, start by making easy substitutions. So here are a few. For high heat cooking at home, use coconut, olive, avocado oil, or ghee in replace of the vegetable or canola oil. And of course, instead of soda, try plain carbonated water with a splash of juice or lemon. Spindrift also makes great refreshers that contain no sugar or no natural flavorings. Those are great options too. And of course, opt for fresh foods when possible, as you can be sure fresh foods such as whole fruits and vegetables, fresh unprocessed meats, eggs, and even simple cultured dairy products, you can pretty much guarantee those won't contain it. Getting rid of TBHQ from your diet will not only help improve the quality of how you feel, but the quality of your life and loved ones. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please share it with 2 of your close friends and family members. And don't forget to share it on your social media and tag me at Little Sipper so I can see that you listen too. I always love knowing you enjoy these little bites of knowledge and would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section as well. See you guys this coming Wednesday for a seriously amazing interview. Stay tuned. Thanks for listening to this episode of Digest This. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review in your podcast app to let us know. If you're ever wondering how you can support me and this podcast, sharing it with your friends and family is the best way. This is a Resonant Media production produced by Drake Peterson and edited by Mike Fry. To email the show, message us at digestthispod@gmail.com. See you next time. The content of this show is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not a substitute for individual medical and mental health advice and does not constitute a provider-patient relationship. As always, talk to your doctor or health team first.